It's time for Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Stay tuned for conversation and information from her special guest. Now sit back and relax and enjoy Real Talk with Cindy Barber.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Real Talk with Cindy. I see you coming on. Let me know the city, state, or country where you are joining me from. Let me know the city, state, or country where you are joining me from. Good to see you. Hi, Jackie from North Carolina. God bless you. Please share and let others know that we're on tonight. Please share and let others know that we're here on Real Talk with Cindy. Looking forward to this great discussion on tonight. He's an amazing artist. So please share and tag and let others know that we're here. Please share, tag, and let others know that we are here. And please sow a seed. It will be a financial blessing to Real Talk with Cindy. Use one of these two ways to give. Cash App, $ Cindy's Keys, or Zelle, miss.cindybarber@gmail.com. And also, if you would like to advertise an event on here on Real Talk, please DM me or send an email to miss.cindybarber@gmail.com. I hope everyone has enjoyed their new year. Thanking God for allowing us to see a brand new year, 2023. I'm looking forward to what God is going to do. Also, I want everybody to be aware that Reverend Dr. Albert Morgan is retiring. And he's called God's Mailman Forever. They're having a kickoff concert celebrating the pastoral retirement of him. And it's going to, he's from Union Baptist Church out in Bridgeton, New Jersey. The celebration will take place on January 14th at 5 p.m. The doors will open at 4 o'clock. It will be held at the First Nazarene Baptist Church in Camden, New Jersey, featuring many choirs from the tri-state area. And I would love for everyone to please go and support Pastor Morgan. He has supported so many people down through the years. He attends a lot of events. So I definitely would love for everyone to please go and be a part of his retirement celebration. And if you need more information, you can inbox me and let me know, and I'll be glad to share it with you. There are many choirs from the tri-state area, even Wilmington, Chester, and there's so many that will be a part. So please tag and share and let others know that we're here. Happy New Year to you too, Kamani. God bless you. Good to see you. Happy New Year, Kelly. Felicia Beverly, Happy New Year from New Jersey. Please let me know the city, state, or country where you're joining me from. Lynn Reed from Ardmore, Pennsylvania. God bless you. Please invite and share with your followers. Please invite and share with your followers to let them know that we are here. My guest is here. I need you to invite and share. Tag some people. Let them know that we're on. Please invite and share and let others know that we are here. We are definitely here. God bless everyone. Those that are following on YouTube, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for being here. And again, Happy New Year to everyone. Happy New Year. God bless you. Well, I'm going to bring on my guest right now. Hey, Jermaine.
What's going on? How you doing, Miss Cindy? How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm chilling. Happy New Year to you.
Thank you, and same to you and
Thank
your lovely wife. God bless you. I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited to have you with me on tonight. So we're going to get right into our little dialogue here on
Cool.
tonight. When did you begin with music? What age did you begin with music?
I'm 6. I was 6 years old. That's when I first started doing piano lessons.
Okay.
Shout out to Miss Tanya Murphy. She was like my first piano teacher.
Mm-hmm.
I was in church. I grew up in church all my life. So singing's on
Yeah.
my dad's side. Sings on my dad's side of the family.
Okay.
My grandma sang. My grandpop sang. My dad sang.
Oh.
My brother sings.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my godmom sang. Like so,
Mm-hmm.
singing was always there. So we would listen to all the time. We always listened to Mississippi Mass Choir,
Yeah.
Daryl Coley,
Yeah.
Vanessa Bell Armstrong, and Reverend James Moore.
Mm-hmm.
So I grew up in church. So I was always like, I wasn't. What's crazy is I wasn't singing in church though. I wasn't like, I didn't start singing like solos in church. So I was about like maybe 14, 15 maybe.
Really?
What happened was it was a lot of women in my church. A lot of women in my church.
Mm-hmm.
So the choir was like mainly like women at one point.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they all was like sopranos and altos. They sang high.
Yeah.
So I would just imitate them what they was doing, and like so I was just like, but I was like using my falsetto though.
Yeah.
And I realized I was developing my falsetto when I was like that
Mm-hmm.
young. I would just like imitate like what Sister Juanita did, or Sister Davida, or Sister Terry,
Yeah.
or Sister.
Uh-huh.
I would just
Okay.
imitate what they were doing, and then I would just then I would sing at home, like listen to songs at home and just imitate what they did,
Right. Right.
And
Uh-huh.
he was in church. My dad wasn't in church, so I listened to like R&B music too. I
Yeah.
grew up on the Whispers, the Delphonics,
Mm.
Marvin Gaye, Al Green, Donny Hathaway.
Yes. Yes.
So I grew up
Mm-hmm.
on all that, and so that's like so age of 6 we're like it started like around age of 6.
Wow. So when did you begin actually? Because you play piano and drums, is it?
I can play piano, drums, a little bit guitar, a little bit trombone.
Really?
Yeah.
So when you started playing the piano, what did you do with it after? Or did you start with the drums?
I started with the drums first. My mom, they got
Mm-hmm.
me a drum set first.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I just picked up on that. If you play in church, you basically play everything in church. Like, either you're going to jump from organ to the drums and whatever one sticks.
That's true.
So they gave me my drum set first. So I was playing that. I was
Mm-hmm.
catching the rhythm already with the drum set already.
Mm-hmm.
But I started getting lessons on keyboard. And so I tried to
Mm-hmm.
jump back to drums. It was like, no, you staying with piano. And so I just stayed with piano. But I always just played drums, like offering and stuff like that. But then I just stuck with it. But like, yeah, piano's like.
Can you still play drums?
Yeah, I for sure still play drums. Yeah.
Wow.
I just played drums Sunday.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What about the trombone?
If I sit down with it for like a week, I get it back. I'll get it back. If I sit down with it like a week, I can get it right back. So
right, yeah, that's a nice instrument. It's not many people that's playing it,
yeah.
But when they do play it, I really enjoy hearing it.
Yeah.
And now you sang background with Ty Tribbett.
Yes.
So explain that. How was that journey like singing background with him?
The journey, it was like some of the best years of my life. Like I did 6 years with Ty, and it's not just because he is Ty Tribbett, whatever. Like I got a chance to like get outside of Philadelphia, like and see the world. You know what I mean? Went to
Yeah.
Africa, went to Jamaica, went to Haiti, Barbados, like went to all these like dope places that I never thought about I would go, like all across the United States and stuff like that. So I'm cultured that. But the main thing I got from like 70%, I say about 75% of who I am as an artist now is because of Ty. Like I talk in songs because of Ty. Like, you know, I know how to work a sound check because of Ty. Like just being authentically me, you know what I mean? Ty was that person that was like, yo, like he came out so left field. It was like, oh, so I can do this, just be myself or whatever, you know. A lot of times I start my set off with like singing an old song. I sing an old song. Like, so I did that one time. He asked me to open up for him one time. And yo, I think you need to stick with that. Like whatever that is right there, I think you need to stick with that. And so because of that, I not all the time, but majority of the time, I always start off with like an old song, like a hymn, or just an old song that we sang in church that we don't really sing no more. And you know, that people like in the palm of my hand, like everybody get there, and then I just with like all my songs and stuff like that. But the main thing he really did for me was like, you know, when I was singing with him, I wasn't like really in my Bible like that. I wasn't really like in my word. And he relates every conversation back to the Bible, like everything. Like, he knew the Bible back. He knew the Bible front to back. And like they would have conversations and talking about the Bible, and I wouldn't know none of the stories. Like even the stories I'm supposed to know, I didn't know none of the stories. I'm like, I wouldn't feel like being the eyeball, so I would go home and like read the Bible, and I understanding it. And so I would text him. I would text him like every day, like, yo, what this scripture mean? Like what this verse mean? And so I guess he got tired of me asking him every day. And for my birthday, he had got me the Message Bible. He bought me the Message Bible, and I would read that and like get just once you keep reading this, go back to the King James, and then you should be able to, like correlate things and like you be good. So that's like one of the best things I learned from Ty, like that.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Now, when you branched off as a soloist, how different was that for you? Was it scary in the beginning when you branched out by yourself?
It wasn't scary, but it was just super different. Like, you know, I'm fine with being the number two. Like, I'm cool with being two. Like I'm fine. I'm sorry. I'm fine with like I always say, in order to lead, you must follow. In order to lead, you must serve in territories that you soon hope to conquer. One way to success is to serve. So I'm cool with always being the number two. So like when I was singing with Ty, you know, I was in the background, but like I would like, jump off stage. I would go over here, like, you know what I mean? But I know my role with just being number two. Like I'm number two, number three, number four, like whatever, you know. So, but when I jumped out on my own, like, oh, I'm the one that's out here. Okay. Like, oh, this different. Oh, this stage is a lot more bigger than when it was 8 people is up here now. You know what I mean? So, you know, and then it wasn't just that. Like when I first started out, I wasn't getting like the big churches and stuff. I was getting like the small churches that didn't have like sound systems and stuff like that. So it was like humble beginnings. So I go from like singing in Africa to a storefront church. So it's like, it was like a total like difference, and I had to figure out how to work that and how to do things like that, whatever. They know how to like, you know, how to now I'm a leader now, so now I gotta know put a band in place and like, you know, differentiate friends from business, learn the business side, you know what I mean? Like you know, have entertainment lawyer and a manager, accountant. I gotta learn all that now. This is totally different now. So it was a big difference. But it ain't long to catch on though. It didn't take me long, but it was a big difference.
And things changed, I'm sure, like you said, with friends, with business, you know, because it's important that people know that a lot of times feelings, you know, get hurt, you know, when you have to say, no, we can't do it like that, or no, I can't do it like that, or you can't, you know, so people look at you a little different or think, you know, maybe, you know, you've arrived, but you haven't. You're just trying to keep your business intact.
Exactly.
Because it can be rough when it goes that other way. You know.
For sure. for sure.
And how was it when you sang in Africa? How was
Mm-hmm.
that?
Oh man, that was crazy. Like
Yeah.
that was crazy. Like it's something called the experience they do over there every year in
Yeah.
Nigeria. They do
Mm-hmm.
something called experience. So it's like people, they say people walk from like 50 miles walking. It's a
Yeah.
2-day experience.
Right.
And they said just people just be, it's over like, they say it's like 500,000 people out there. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's a sea of black people out there. It's like really wild.
Yeah.
And they say it's like one of the most craziest moves of God. Like they say miracles be happening out there. People get
Yeah.
walking and all
Mm-hmm.
that. Like, and no lie, like when we got on the land, like when we like got on like where the concert was happening, when we
Yeah.
got there, you
Uh-huh.
just, I never felt God like that before. Like I've
Yeah.
never experienced him like that before. Like it was like we ain't even sing yet. Like we just like
Wow.
as soon as we got past the gate, it was like it was like
Mm-hmm.
crazy over there. So like I over there, like they experience God in a different way than what we experience
Mm-hmm.
there. Like it's either God or nothing over there.
Well, nothing. Right.
You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
it's not like well
Yeah.
in Nigeria where I was at. I'm not gonna say all of Africa. I haven't been all of Africa, but where I
Right.
was at, it was kind of like it's either you're rich or you're poor. There's no middle class.
Yeah. That's
You know
true.
what I mean? So I
Mm-hmm.
don't think a lot of them had
Mm-hmm.
the was awarded anything to have like Medicare or like have like
Yeah.
insurance. And
Yeah.
it was like if something going on, like it's either God or death. Like it's
Yeah.
so like
They told. Yeah.
they really like lean towards it. Like we're over here, like we're like really spoiled over here for real. Like so seeing those like Haiti, going to Haiti, like
Yeah.
seeing those like different rural type of
Mm-hmm.
environments, it
Mm-hmm.
was like,
Mm-hmm.
oh wow, like we really like we are really spoiled over here.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
because we're out or nothing over there. So
Yeah.
it was a different experience. It was definitely a different
Mm-hmm.
experience.
Yeah, because like you said too, they rely totally on God because they don't have the medical care like what we get.
Yeah.
They don't have it, so they rely and they really trust God. They
Yeah.
really trust Him. Now, how many CDs do you have?
I have one main CD called the Dolly Express, but I
Yes.
have I did two mixtapes. I did a mixtape in like 2012 called Hello
Mm-hmm.
Dolly, and I did another one in like 2014, 2015 called Dollyology.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but like I have really just have one album. I'm working on my second album now.
Oh,
Um,
good.
let's say about like March, April, like around that time, So
Really?
I work on it's called The Assignment. Like
Mm-hmm.
and so
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't do an album since 2017. So
Mm-hmm.
this album right here is like it took 5 years to like just go through the process of like just
Wow.
everything about this album is honing into what the assignment. Like I always say, assignment
Assignment.
for accolades,
Mm-hmm.
assignment for accolades. So I could have been without an album, just call it the assignment, and just make a
Mm-hmm.
whole bunch of songs that has nothing to do with the assignment. Just like, all right, here goes some songs, y'all. You know what I mean? In between these
Right.
5 years, I put out singles, but like
Yeah.
it's from an album, and I've been asked to like do like features on other people's songs. Like
Yeah.
Tighter Showers, Red Hand, stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I did songs that came out as singles as well. But
Right.
this album right here is it's just mainly like everything about it is just about like people that's trying to figure out what their assignment is,
Yeah.
or the all the emotions that go behind doing
Yeah.
God's assignment, like
Yeah.
having like all it's geared towards every emotion. If you're
Mm-hmm.
stuck,
Mm-hmm.
how do you figure out you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
how do you figure out your
Yeah.
your assignment? Like how do you figure out your walk? Like it's
Yes.
it's everything geared around and it's coming from a place of like I have a song called on there, Faith Lead the Blind.
Mm.
It's really honing into like like they always say faith without works is dead. Faith
Right. Right.
and power without faith is not possible to please. So yeah, we can say these things, but
Yeah.
like, do you really like know like because even in this process of me doing this album, I sing Faithfully the Blind. That song Faithfully the Blind, I sing it to myself every day. Even getting to the point of me recording this album now is nothing but faith. And I have no idea what's the next step until he tells me. And so it's really, I'm blind to what's happening, but it's all coming together. It's all coming together. So it's like faith is all about faith leading, like, okay, all right, what you want me to do now? And then let's do it. Like everything that's coming together with it right now is like really a faith thing. So and that's just like an example of like, you know, where the album is going to like be geared towards, like, so.
Yeah. And that might be like the theme for 2023. Because a lot of people still don't know the assignment, and those that may know it may not have moved into it.
Yeah.
It can really stir up either way.
Yeah.
That's phenomenal. Now, are you writing all the songs?
Yeah. I did some co-writing. Again, Faithfully the Blind. A lot of these, like 2 songs I already had the idea of, and I had went to 3 songs, matter of fact. I have a song called So Far So Short, and I did that as like a jingle. I do jingles on Instagram, so I just did it, made it go up. And I did that like 2017. I had went to Maverick City's like writers camp, Maverick City's writers camp.
Really?
Yeah, and I was just trying to finish songs and put on their stuff, whatever.
Right.
And went there. I finished So Far So Short there, and I have another song called Signature. My manager always talks about understanding what God's signature is on your life. So I presented the idea, and then we wrote the song out and finished it there. And Maverick City, they didn't use none of the songs. So I'm like, oh wow, that's 2 I can keep.
Right.
You know what I mean? I went to another writers camp. Leslie Odom Jr. If they might have been familiar who he is, that's the guy that he's the lead actor in Hamilton. I did like a writing session at my second writers camp with him, and I have a song called One Vow, which actually the first verse is my wedding, my actual wedding vows. But I was gonna sing it to her at the wedding, but I cried at the wedding, so I couldn't even get it out.
Right.
So, you know, so we laying up the next day. I sang it to her the next day, and then I finished it. I did the second verse, and I finished it at the writers camp. And when I recorded it at the writers camp and like let everybody hear it at the writers camp, everybody was in tears.
Really?
Everybody was in tears when they heard it. It was like, this is a beautiful song.
Right.
And he not using it either. He's doing like filming. He's filming stuff right now. So I'm using it. And if you want to use it, you can still use it, but it's going on my album as well. Cause like one of my a lot of this stuff wouldn't happen if it wasn't. A lot of these songs wouldn't have been finished if I wasn't like in union with my wife. So you know, so that One Vow song. So that's 3 songs that came about, and the rest of the songs I'm writing on my own. Like, so I don't really like do collaborative writing for but So Far So Short and Signature were 2 of the ones that like I had help with.
That's great. Wow, that's good, because I didn't know you were doing a lot of writing, but I see that.
My first album, I wrote everything. I did everything.
You did? Okay.
2 producers, like 3. I worked with 3 producers. Let me see. I produced myself. I produced myself. I produced myself. Come and Knock on My Door. Come and Knock on Our Door was produced by I can't think of his name. I Don't Want to Be Moses was produced by I can't think of their name either.
It's all right.
Testimony. The person who did Come and Knock on Our Door, Testimony. Yeah. That's the same guy that did that, and I Don't Want to Be Moses. Oh my God, I can't think of any name. But yeah, it was still 4 songs, and it was produced by other people, but everything was written by me, and and everything else was produced by me.
Wow. That's great. That is really amazing. And when did it come and knock on your door? How did that come about?
So my manager, so the song "You," my first single "You," that was coming down, like, we need another single.
Mm-hmm.
So my manager said, "Hey, I got this beat for you.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how you're gonna make it a gospel song, but cool."
Mm-hmm.
So we met up at IHOP, we met up at IHOP,
Mm-hmm.
and early in the morning, and I heard the beat. I was like, "Wow,
Mm-hmm.
this is crazy! Like, this is crazy." And they was like, "I don't know how you're gonna make this a song, a gospel song," but I was like,
Right.
"Cool." I said, that's not gonna be hard at all,
Uh-huh.
because like I I was always in the church. Like, I grew up in church, but I also was outside too. I was in the streets too a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
Not even a little bit, a lot of bit. I was in the streets a lot.
Right.
So what happened was, me being outside in the streets as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got cool with a lot of people that's outside,
Mm-hmm.
four walls. And so when I finally gave my life to the Lord, like, for real, I became
Mm-hmm.
their Jesus outlet. Like, I became, so
Mm-hmm.
I would hear conversations. Like, they would ask me, so like, okay, cool. Like, we heard the success of you.
Mm-hmm.
We see what's going on. Like, you keep talking about this Jesus. So what about this Jesus? So
Mm-hmm.
we'll talk about Jesus. And I find a church home.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody had the same type of response. Like, I'm not messing with them hypocrites, and I'm not doing that, and da, 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 da.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So
Right.
I would challenge them. I would say,
Mm-hmm.
well, like, if you break your arm right now, where you going? He was like, a lot of people would be like, going to the doctor, going to the ER. I said, cool.
Uh-huh.
Now, in the ER, there's people that got AIDS in the ER. There's blood in the ER. There's a
Mm-hmm.
whole nasty things going in the ER. I said, are
Mm-hmm.
you leaving because there's nasty people in the ER? Or are you going to leave until you get your healing from your broken arm? I'm leaving when I get my arm fixed. Cool. I said, that's church. Church is a place where there's nothing but broken people there
That's
that's
right.
looking for healing.
Right.
And
Right.
like, especially now, don't get me wrong, that don't give us a pass. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, you don't get no pass for that.
Mm-hmm.
You imperfect. That don't mean you stay in an imperfect state.
Right.
If I just told him, like, yo, like, you're going to have to find a church home, like, what I mean, you get poured into, like, so like, there's a whole there, like that, and that's why you don't follow man, you follow Christ.
That's right. You follow Christ.
But you don't follow man. Like, I even tell them, I said, don't you follow me. Like, I'm not Jesus. I'm not him. Like, I fall short every day. So please don't follow me. I'm just a gateway to get you to where you want to get to. You go find him out for you. Don't live through Jesus through me. Like, don't do that. Like don't do that. Because if I fail you, then you'll be like, oh my God, another hypocrite. Like, no, go find out Jesus for yourself, and that's where coming up my door came from. I talked to a lot of people that grew up in churches and left the church because of something that happened to them, or whatever case, the church did them wrong, however that go. And I talk to people that just never stepped foot in church because they just heard stories, they just not going to church.
Right.
That's where coming knocking our door and came from, so
that's good. That's really good. So you're really doing your job of witnessing.
Yeah, for sure. I tried to.
Yes. Sure. Right. And you've been doing some comedy too, right?
Yeah, for sure. I'm stepping more out. I'm stepping more on stand-up comedy. For sure this year. Branching out to that more. That's another avenue for getting people to follow Christ, and the way I'm going to do it, is going to be like really, 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 really good. It's basically my whole set is just exposing myself. I'm just exposing every flaw.
Right.
God still chooses to use me in all my flaws. Not because I have flaws, like I said before, because I have flaws. That don't stay in that state, because I know I'm imperfect. I don't mean I say imperfection, but just to show y'all that, like, he uses someone that grew up in a bad environment. That has done things while I was saved. And God still uses me. You know what I mean? And you can still be used and still be successful in God's eye, whatever that entails. and just trying to draw people into Christ like that. Because I think the church I grew up in, in those times, me growing up, the church has always been looked at as you got to be perfect.
Yeah.
That's what drew a lot of people away from church.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this is just me telling people like, yo, I'm not perfect, but I don't use grace as the sin crutch. You know what I mean? Nowadays, like grace is now the sin crutch now. Like, it's like, oh, I like cheating on my wife, but the Lord loves me. I got grace. I ain't supposed to cheat on my wife. You know what I mean? I ain't supposed to, but the Lord know my heart. Grace. I ain't, I ain't supposed to be drinking, but the Lord know. He know me. It's grace. You know what I mean? So I think that's where, like, a lot of the messages I've been hearing, like, as of late, people have really have like been using that grace thing, grace and mercy.
Yeah, taking advantage of that.
That's the sin crutch, you know what I mean? But rent, it's like you pay rent. You got a grace period. That's what Ty said one time. Ty was like, you got a grace period.
Right.
You ain't got the rent money up, you gonna get evicted. So, you know what I mean? But that grace period gives you time enough to get your money together so you can pay your rent.
Right. Absolutely. So, that's right. Now, you're married and you talked about your vows. Yeah. How has married life changed you for the better?
I'm really soft now. Like, I'm very soft. Like, I'm really soft. It keeps me in my prayer life. She's on me. Like, we live together. And she always was on me. She always was on my prayer life. But like now, I gotta live with her now. Like she be on me. Did you read your word today? Did you pray? Are you praying still? Like, you used to, like, you know what I mean? So she sees my word. But like, just being married, like the guy Twitch had just died. He committed suicide. And I never really care about people dying. Like, if I don't know you, like somebody, a celebrity died or something like that, that's like, a celebrity died. Okay. Yeah. I always was like that. But when Twitch died, because I had went through a little depression this year, from May to about August last year. It was a little dark space. Yeah. Like a little dark time, whatever. And a lot of things I chose not to tell my wife. I didn't try to tell her. And it wasn't until like the Lord had to tell me. He was like, yo, man, one night we was sleeping one night. And for like from May to August, I had like deep anxiety. Couldn't really sleep like that. Yeah. And one night, me and my wife was in the bed asleep, and she took all the covers one night. We took all the covers, and I snatched it back off. And she took the covers again. I snatched it back off. And she kept taking the covers off me, and she did this. I could not. So I tried to even sleep like under like my little blanket, like the little. You got the big blanket. You got that little blanket underneath it. So I'm trying to sleep on that. I'm freezing. I'm freezing. And it's like from 3 o'clock to about 6 o'clock, I cannot go to sleep. Right? So 6 o'clock in the morning, the Lord told me, go grab your wife. I was like, what? He was like, go grab your wife. And I grabbed her. I went to hold her. And the sense of peace just like went through I haven't felt this type of peace, haven't felt this type of like calmness, like no anxiety. I couldn't go to sleep. I like for months I couldn't go to sleep. And the Lord told me, he said, if you're away from your wife, if you're apart from your wife, you will always be in a cold. She's your covering, has all the covering. If you're not connected with her, you have no covering and you will be out in the cold. And when I do my devotions that same day, Ecclesiastes 4, I think verse 11 said, two who sleep apart will be left out in the cold, will be shivering all night. Two that sleeps, I think it's in Ecclesiastes 4, somewhere in there, it says, two that sleeps apart in the bed will shiver all night. you know, and when I'm gonna go do my devotion, the Lord said, tell her all your problems. Tell
Mm.
all of your problems. So
Mm.
me seeing Twitch die to kill himself, and like, you know,
Yeah.
and he couldn't, whatever he was facing, he could not even go to his wife,
Mm-hmm.
and he couldn't even go to his wife, and I don't even have children, and he left his kids and all that,
I know. Yeah.
it made me think like, God,
Yeah.
dog, like, so like marriage is like opened my eyes to a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, like, like
Mm-hmm.
just stuff like that. Like, so
Wow.
for me, marriage like really like have got me like soft. Not in a bad way, but like it's like me like
No, right. I understand.
sensitive to like certain things,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. I hear God a lot clearer, way more clearer. Like,
Mm-hmm.
like I hear him in ways that like I ain't never heard it before. Like, he talks
Mm.
like, loud and clear. Like he talks to me. Like, you
Yes.
but just like even just having that partner, just like
Yeah.
um, I even now, like if I'm in the bed and I can't fall asleep, I
Mm-hmm.
just touch her. I just like touch her.
Mm-hmm.
I go right to sleep. I go right to sleep, and so
Really?
like she feel me rubbing up on us like that. I'm really just trying to go to sleep, and I go right to sleep, like no
Right.
lie, right to sleep. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. That's wonderful. You had a beautiful wedding.
Oh, thank you, thank you. That's
Pictures.
all her. That's all her. She did all the
Yeah.
planning, all that. That's all her. I just
Oh,
showed up.
yeah. You just showed up,
I
right?
just showed up. Like, what do you want me to wear? Well, black and white. All right, cool. I'm there. That's
As
it.
long as I'm getting married, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
As an artist, what changes would you like to see in the church, either musically or, spiritually? What would you like to see? Because our churches have gone through a lot of changes. What changes would you like to see within the church?
Um. I think we just need a better identity. I think.
Mm,
I think we lost that trying to appease like pop culture.
okay.
You
Got.
know.
Mm-hmm.
I think we are so more concerned about having like celebrity friends because now social media you can touch people. You can touch people now, like
That's right.
it won't be hard for me to get a response out of LeBron James. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, if he sees one of my videos, he likes it. Oh, now we're cool now. It wouldn't
Right.
be hard to do that.
Yeah.
And so I think a lot of times, like, social media is like giving people like
Mm-hmm.
so close. And you got a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
especially church people, they go in there and like say they messages on there, like these motivational messages and,
Mm-hmm.
people gravitate to that, and then
Mm-hmm.
a lot of followers, and then you become famous overnight. You can become a famous preacher overnight.
That's
You know,
right.
I just think that
Mm-hmm.
that goes in there. It's just a lot of like, we lost an identity a little bit.
Yeah.
Not actually, with
Mm-hmm.
staying firm on what we believe, like, and
Mm-hmm.
not compromising. I think one thing the Lord entrusted. I've been in like a lot of rooms where like it's not gospel at all.
Yeah.
Like I write music and like produce music outside of gospel music.
Right. Mm-hmm.
I've been in rooms where it's like, oh, all right, but the Lord trusts me because like I'm not gonna compromise like who I am
Yeah.
just to appease people that's in here. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? A lot of
Mm-hmm.
times become chameleons and just come in the rooms just because they're in a room and be like,
Yeah.
all right, well, let me compromise what I believe just to fit into this pop culture crowd.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like I don't go out in Philly, so I don't really care about going out in LA and all that.
Yeah. In all those places. Yeah.
I don't really care
Mm-hmm.
about that. Like I'm coming here,
Mm-hmm.
I'm out. Like give my money and I'm gone. Like go back home.
Right.
Like
Yeah.
so I just think that like church wise, like our message has been like watered down too, especially in our music, especially in the music. The music is like a lot of like cliche stuff, a lot of watered down, it's a lot of recycled stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody just saying the same thing.
Thanks.
Whereas back then, artists was like different. Like people wrote songs. People had like really good, well-written songs.
Mm-hmm.
Christianity is the only religion that invokes change.
Mm-hmm.
Christianity, only religion that invokes change.
Mm-hmm.
In order to follow Jesus Christ, you got to change something to follow him. Like something has to change.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you're not invoking change,
Mm-hmm.
it's not really like what are you doing it for? Like what's that's
Yeah.
the ministry, like, everything's like supposed to feel good.
Right.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't really be forcing that conversation with people, but like we ever have the conversation with people, oh, I don't waver for what, like I never like walk into a room and Jesus, y'all, you know what I mean? It's never that. But if we going to have that conversation, just know I'm standing 10 toes down on what everything I believe.
That's it. Right.
I never force the issue, but if we do go
Mm-hmm.
there,
Yeah.
all right,
Mm-hmm.
that's fine with me. Like I'm not wavering for what I believe, just to appease
Right.
this room. You know
Exactly.
what I mean? So
Right.
that's.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that's where we like lost ourselves a little bit. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right. Now, how do you think, as far as like musicians, we've lost a lot of musicians in the church. We don't have the choirs like we used to. It's starting to come back. So,
Yeah.
what do you think we could do, or how can we kind of inspire or encourage musicians to remain in the church? What can we do?
Be honest with you, pay them. Like, I mean, I know a lot of churches can't do it.
Right.
I know
Right.
that. I'm not oblivious to that. Like, I get
Yeah.
it. But
I know what you're saying.
you know, I'm a musician in church. Like,
Yeah.
I just, well, I do. I go on both sides. I think musicians need to have more of a Levi's heart. I think a musician needs to have a more of a heart like David.
Yeah.
It need to be more than just playing.
Yeah.
For me,
Yeah.
I just got promoted to minister of music at my church. I wasn't even the one. I was like just the keyboard player. Like I
Right.
occasionally sing.
Yeah.
I go to Ezekiel Baptist. I play there every Sunday, and I go to
Yeah.
my church, New Harvest Kingdom Ministries.
Mhm.
Pastor Aaron Wright. That's who get my tithing, and I don't get paid big there. Like I keep 100 with y'all. I get paid $150 a Sunday at my mom's church.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? Like, that's gas money. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I go there to get word.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Where
that's
you
where I
fed.
get fed at. I get
That's
fed there.
it.
I get fed.
Mhm.
Like, that's a 3:30 service on a Sunday where I just did a 10 o'clock service. You know what I mean? And I
Uh-huh.
got out at 12 and I'm chilling now. Like I'm ready to go to bed. But I
Right.
go there every Sunday just to get fed and just to get
Mhm.
word. You know
Wow.
what I mean? And so I just think that's that side of it, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But the other side of it, I think churches need to like be more appreciative of I think churches are doing better at it now.
Yeah.
I think churches are doing better at it now, but I know when I came up and I started getting good, please, like I was like 18. I was like 18 years old.
Mhm.
I was like 18 years old getting like $25 or something, like, you know what I mean? But
Yeah.
we loved playing back then. Like it was
Exactly.
for playing. Like we just want
Right.
to come to church. This what
Mhm.
I learned this week. I'm doing it on Sunday.
Mhm.
I mean, it was a fun time then, but
That's so true.
it's just a different time now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Me, I'm cool with like I like to play. That's my time to like get whatever I got out, whatever I went through this week.
Yeah.
I'm getting it out.
Mhm.
Right. I'm just getting it out. Like
Right.
either I'm gonna sing it or I'm gonna get it out. That's me
Right.
though.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
more than just playing for me. Like so I
Mhm.
love to like play and just get it out. But
Mhm. Yeah. Absolutely. Kamani says you are an amazing artist.
my man,
Yes, indeed. Now, before we close, I wanted to ask you what's next for Jermaine. I know you're going to be releasing some music, but what else is next for you?
music, comedy. I'm on a podcast right now.
Mm.
Called Trash Talking Sports.
Mm-hmm.
It has nothing to do with gospel music, like nothing at all. I told you, like God be
Mm-hmm.
putting me in places, but like it was crazy. Is like some of the episodes we've recorded, we've had those God talk, those moments where we talked about like Christianity or what I believe.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It just be happening organically. Like and again,
Yeah.
like God put me in position. Like, what you gonna do? All right, what they asked me, I'm telling the answer. Like I'm cool with that. Like I'm not gonna be like, well, the spirits and the energy. I'm not doing all that. Like
Right.
but like, so when a podcast is just we just talking trash like about
Mm-hmm.
sports. We interview like different celebrities and different
Mm-hmm.
athletes and stuff like that. We interview like Roy Jones, Terrell Owens, Terrence Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
We interviewed like a lot of people so far. You know, we got a lot more people. Not Roy Jones. Floyd Mayweather. Like, you know, we're gonna interview him soon.
Really? Wow.
I'm second fiddle on that show. I'm like third. Like, again, I'm not the main guy. I'm just like a coach. You know.
Really?
So yeah. So we doing that. More comedy. And just learning more about marriage. You know what I mean? Just learning more about marriage.
Yeah.
You know, I think like, you know, especially my generation, like, you know, marriage is like not really like talked about in the way that we like we experience it.
Yeah.
You know, and marriage is as serious as it was. Like in my mom in them days. Like, you know, so because you know, now, you know, people back then, correct me if I'm wrong, like people got married, one has something, the other has something, come together. Like
and they come together, right?
One breadwinner, we gonna make it. You needed each other. Like, yeah, I'm gonna work all day, but I need you to be home with these kids and like I'll be home with these kids, just bring home the money. We're gonna make it work.
Right,
you know what I mean? And like, you know, a lot of times, you know, people grow old and like don't get divorced. They just living partners. You know what I mean? It's like,
true.
all right, we're just living here, like, all right, cool, you know.
Right.
My generation, these women don't need men for nothing. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be like, I don't need you, I'm out. Like, you know, it'd be over. You know. And, you know, I think like the generation before me didn't like really prepare us for marriage.
Yeah.
It really didn't prepare us like really well. It was just, you want to have sex, get married.
Right.
All right, you get married and realize they got a lot more to do than just sex.
Just sex, right?
I mean, sex is great. Like, sex is great, but it's a lot more
than just that.
Than just that. And I don't think like my church prepared me for, like, you know, what came with marriage, like, you know, being the head of the house. And you heard, the man's the head of the house, but to like, you know, everything start with you. Like, you know, like I realized like it's not a woman leaves her mother and father to cleave to a man. It don't be a woman, if you're not equal with your husband, your prayers get hindered. You know what I mean? It's the man. Like, the man got all the responsibilities. Like, and so, you know, I was not prepared for that. Like, I was like questioning God, like, do you talk to her? Like, you don't talk to her? Like, you just gonna keep talking to me? Like, you know, but it starts with me. I'm the example. I'm the prophet of the home. I'm the priest of the home. Like, you know,
that's right.
And it starts with me. And it took me a while to learn that. It took me a while to learn that.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
A while to learn. Okay. Oh, so this start with me. Like, okay, I'm responsible. And Lord put in my heart, like, you know, like, if a team is bad, the first person to get fired is the coach, the head coach. You know what I mean? The players can be playing bad, but the coach gets fired first.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And then a trade may come, but the first person to get fired is the head coach. Right. So, you know, so for marriage, it's like, yo, like, I'm talking to you, like, you're the I'm talking to you, like, you know, we only lead for them to guide. With the man, so the woman can guide. You know, it took a while for me to like. It took me a while for me to learn that. It took me a while to learn. I'm still learning. Learning. But like really like put it in forefront. Okay, oh, this what this is. Okay, cool. It took me a while to get to that. And I think, like, you know, I don't know what it is. I don't want to be I definitely want to be like a relationship guru or a marriage like person. Like, I'm not that. My advice to people is like, learn your own marriage. Like, learn what works for your whole. Like,
that's it.
That's my advice. You know what I mean? But I just think that it should be talks of like real conversation of like, yo, like, this is like what it is. Like this is like you got to find out what it is. But, you know, it first starts with the man. I think it really starts with you. Like whatever the fragrance of your home is really predicated on you. Like, you know, the wife to be like, you know, the fragrance of your home. You have Baccarat, which is a very, very expensive, smell good cologne, or your house can smell like fish. So, like, which one you want? You know, conversation needs to be had more. So me and my wife, we probably might get into that a little bit more, like this year or sometime. You know what I mean?
Good.
like, we go through things where, like, it needs to be talked about.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't think we go through things just because.
Right.
But, it's a lot of stuff can really help somebody. What a lot
Sure.
of what we go through
Mm-hmm.
doesn't necessarily have to do with you. It's for you to get out of it so you can help somebody else.
Yeah.
So, I just think that, like our generation of people that's married,
Mm-hmm.
we have that type of talk.
That's right.
Real talk, like,
Yeah. Real talk. Yeah, and I think and we need it in the church.
for sure, definitely in the
We
church.
need it in the church, and
Some
it's not.
outside, I don't think people outside can really teach us nothing about, and because it's certain things that's required of us spiritually that a
Mm-hmm.
working marriage that I think an outside counselor can't really tell me.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Like, like
Yeah.
the relationship gurus that's not necessarily like Christian,
Christians. Yeah.
they got good, like logical things
Mm-hmm.
they and they spew out there, but it don't be
Mm-hmm.
like really like, okay, that sound cool, but
Right.
like that don't really apply like for like,
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That sound cool, like, relationship goals and things like that. Yeah, that
Yeah.
sound cool. But
Mm-hmm.
when you think of it, like it's
Yeah.
different. It's different.
It is, and it's different, and it definitely has to be subjects that's talked about in the church.
Yeah,
And I
for
think,
sure.
especially when you got younger people that's getting married
For
and
sure.
or not wanting to get married because they don't really understand it.
Right.
They don't
For
even
sure.
understand what their role is, and it's a lot for men.
For sure.
That they really have to understand their place. As the head of the home.
For sure.
Understand it. Now
And
we
not,
were
not
talking.
even just to,
Uh-huh.
like, not even just to be the head of home in a way of, because I thought, like, is women, serve your husbands. You know what I mean? Like,
So,
it's,
mhm,
but like 2 verses down, it says husbands ought to serve your wife too, and it gave a little bit more dialogue with it as well.
that's
You know
true.
what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's like, like it's really like, yo, the man, you gotta really be on your job. Like, if you're not
Yeah.
ready to, if you're not even, I even go further enough to say, like,
Hmm.
if you ain't ready to do that, worry about that, you shouldn't, don't get married.
That's
Like,
right.
don't get married. I'd rather you be outside, being outside, like, and then to get married, and like, because it's a lie. Like, like if you're
Yeah.
not, if you don't got the right counterpart for that,
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, you gonna be outside, like,
That's
act
right.
crazy. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Hmm.
So, like,
Hmm.
I think men, like, head of home is not, it's not for you to be her boss.
Hmm.
That's what I was doing for a while. I was thinking I was the boss. I'm the
Right.
CEO of this. Like I'm the boss. This will go down. And God was checking me, man. I'm talking about, he was whooping me, like,
Mm.
for sure. So, I had to learn.
Yeah.
All right, I got you. Stop hitting me. I got you. All right, I got you.
Hmm.
So it was that. I
Right.
think that we need to have that conversation. That's all.
Yeah. And it definitely needs to be talked about.
For sure.
Definitely. Now, can you encourage, what can you say to another potential artist or someone that's watching that really would like to be an artist? What encouragement or what could you say to this person as we close?
Keep Jesus Christ first, and you'll never be last. If you keep Jesus Christ first, you'll never be last.
Mm.
Know what your assignment is. That's what this album's going to be about. Know what your assignment is. Know
Know
that
what
you're
this
chosen for
time
that.
is.
Know that you're chosen for it. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Not called, but chosen for it.
Mm-hmm.
150 people can be called to a basketball team.
Right.
Only 15 people get chosen for the team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And only 5 people start.
Mm-hmm.
Only 2 people can shoot the basketball whenever they want to shoot the basketball, and the rest
Mm-hmm.
all in line. So, it's just all about just figuring out what it is that God has called you to do. God has chosen
Yes.
you to do, and you just hone into that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Just know you're not called and you're not chosen to sell a lot of records. You're not chosen to be booked every week. You know
That's
what I mean?
right.
That's what you're chosen for. That's just the accolade side of it.
Yeah.
Now, if you do your assignment, the accolades will come. But
Mm-hmm.
get discouraged. You're not
Mm-hmm.
chosen on radio. You know what I mean? You're not
Mm-hmm.
chosen to get awards. You know what I mean? You're chosen to assign whatever assignment that God has in your life. And if those
Mm-hmm.
things come,
Mm-hmm.
you walk in that. If they
Yeah.
don't come, you still are obligated to perform the duties that God has for you. You know, it's like working at a job. It's like working at a job, man. You know, you doing all this work, doing all this work, all this work, all this work, all this work. You even train the person that's supposed to be your boss.
Right.
And then they get promoted, and then, you know, they get all the accolades. And you're like, what you going to do? I quit. I'm like, no, still do your job. You still are obligated to do your job. Whether you get promoted, whether or not you get whether or not you get employee of the month. If you never get that, you are still obligated to do your job the best of you. So, you know, that's my encouragement for like artists.
A lot of people are saying great conversation and they received this message, you know, so thank you so much, Jermaine.
Anytime.
For being a part. I look forward to having you back on again along with your lovely wife.
Cool beans.
Shared a lot of great nuggets on tonight.
Cool beans. Cool beans. This is what I'm called to do. This is what I'm called for. Like singing and comedy just get me places. But I love to talk. I can talk. I can talk. Like, I'm with that. Like I like talking just like this. You know what I mean? Like I don't have to go to the pulpit. I ain't gotta be nobody pastor.
Right.
You know, I tell God, keep your sheep. Keep your sheep. I do not want your sheep. Yo, keep your sheep. But like stuff like this, I'm cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool with. Like that's what I'm called for. Like help somebody, whether it's 1 or 1,000,000. I did my job. So I'm cool.
Well, let me ask you this too. As far as podcasts and radio, let me start with the radio. As far as getting your music out there, have you been able to do that? Because I know in Philadelphia, there's no gospel stations, you know, like it used to be, you know, stations it used to be, but we don't really have that. You know, we still have Gospel Highway 11, but that's on the internet, and also, you know, some local stations. So how have you been able to get your music out?
I made relationships with people. When I first started off, like, you know, I didn't have no money. I didn't have no money to do what I need to do. Yeah. So we popped up on radio stations. We just popped up. Like we randomly just, and my manager, he's also my radio rep too. So we learned the system, and we got cool with people, and that's how we got in with a lot of people. So that's how my songs got put on radio, just by but that was all from the muscle. That was all muscle work. That was all muscle. So that's how I got on there.
And that's good. And you're still on. And what about podcasts? How has that been a great advantage to be a part of having a podcast?
I just started. It just aired Christmas, so I don't know the effects of it yet. I haven't seen the effects of like what is going to come and what's going to happen. But you know, I understand God's signature, so you know something good gonna come out of it. You know what I mean? I understand the signature, so you know, like we'll see what happens. But you know, again, this is faith leading the blind. Again, faith leading the blind. So when it happens, I'll tell you.
Well, we can't wait to hear your new music. I know it's going to be phenomenal. It's going to really be good. So I'll be able to bring you back on to share about your new music.
For sure.
So I look forward to that. And I want to thank everyone else for watching on tonight. Those that are on YouTube, those that will watch the replay, days and weeks ahead. Thank you so much for joining Real Talk with Cindy and my special guest tonight, the artist, Brother Jermaine Dolly.
Love you.
Love you too, and thank you so much. And we will see you again very soon. Pray God's blessings and everyone for a prosperous New Year 2023. God bless you. Look forward to seeing you again.
Thank you so very much for tuning in to Real Talk with Cindy Barber. We hope you have been informed and inspired by the conversation on this evening. You can contact Cindy Barber on Instagram at CindyRBarber04. You can email her at ms.cindybarber@gmail.com or the YouTube channel at Cindy R. Barber. You can also contact Cindy about having your event advertised on Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Cindy looks forward to you joining her next week for another informative conversation right here on Real Talk with Cindy Barber. Until then, have a great evening.